So to help him in these moments, Martin Luther kept an inscription over his desk on a shelf that read, "Remember, you are baptized. Remember, you are baptized." He would often touch his forehead and remind himself, "I am baptized." On occasion when he was in a really low place, when he really felt like Satan was trying to claim his identity, claim Martin Luther's identity, and make him doubt God's love and grace, Martin would take something like a book or an ink pot or a writing instrument from his desk, and he would throw it at the place where he felt like that negative energy was coming from. And he would yell, "I am baptized." I want you all to say it with me. You don't have to yell, but I want you to say, "I am baptized." I am baptized. The beauty of the story comes in the specific words that Martin Luther used. He wasn't remembering an event from the past. He was remembering what is always happening in our lives. I am baptized, not I was baptized once. Excuse me. He was remembering an identity that was central to his whole being. I am baptized. In worship today, we're remembering our identities as God's beloved children as we celebrate our baptismal promises, either that we made or that were made on behalf of us when we were children. My last story. There was a woman who was pastor of Sheboygan United Methodist Church in Nashville, Tennessee. Maybe, I don't know if you all can find it sometime, Gary and Sue, when you go to Nashville. She's not there anymore. Her name is Janet Wolf, but she's not the pastor there anymore. This happened years and years ago. But a woman who was struggling with homelessness, with mental illness, and with chronic lupus visited the church and felt so accepted and included that she decided to become a member of that church. But first she had to go through new member class. So, Fayette, a good southern name. Janet Wolf, the pastor, said that Fayette joined the new member class, and at one class the conversation was about baptism. And the way the Pastor Janet put it, baptism is this holy moment when we are named by God's grace with such power that it won't come undone. I love that. This holy moment when we are named by God's grace with such power that baptism is never going to come undone. And the love and the grace that is part of it can never be undone. Now that phrase grabbed Fayette's imagination, and Janet tells how throughout the class, that class and then there were other classes following in the new member orientation, Fayette would ask the people in the new member class again and again and again, when I'm baptized, I'm what? And the class learned, as a way of loving her and supporting her, to respond together. When she would say, when I'm baptized, I am, and they would say, beloved, precious child of God, and beautiful to behold. Fayette, you are beloved, precious child of God, and beautiful to behold. That's what she was looking forward to hearing when she did get baptized at the church. and she would say, "Oh, yes." And then she would allow the new member class to go back to their discussion. Well, the day of Fayette's baptism came. She was so excited. And after she was baptized in front of the congregation, like Brent was baptized this morning, she looked at the congregation and she asked, "And now I am," and the whole church said together, "Beloved, precious child of God, and beautiful to behold." So I want you all to say that with me. I'll tell you one more time. Beloved, precious child of God, and beautiful to behold. Beloved, precious child of God, and beautiful to behold. Fayette was so excited after her baptism. She danced around the whole front of the church and finally calmed down. Beloved, the voice from heaven proclaimed that Jesus was beloved as his baptismal waters rolled off of him at the Jordan River. Beloved, the name that Jesus started with when he began his new ministry after he had been baptized. Beloved, spoken with such power at Jesus' baptism that it permeated his whole being, his whole life, his way of seeing and believing and understanding. Beloved, Jesus would name those he met in his healing ministry and his teaching ministry. That was his name for them. You are God's beloved children. It gave them a sense of not only healing, but inclusion and hope. Beloved, child of God, that's who all of us are. That story of Fayette goes with me when I do baptisms, and she challenges me, her story challenges me to ask, if I have been named, not if, I know I have been named by God's grace with such power that it won't come undone, what am I to be doing in my life as a follower of Christ? We are named beloved children of God. How are we going to live in such a way that others will know themselves as beloved children of God? The people that we touch in our lives will know that that's their name, especially those who have been given reason in one way or another, or a cause in one way or another, to feel like they are less than loved, they are less than valued, they are less the children of God than we are. In the coming days, may the waters of baptism, the waters of our baptism, so cling to us that in their depths we see who we are, and from our depths reflect to others their true name, my name and your name and their name. Beloved, precious child of God, and beautiful to behold. Amen.
Please stand for our final hymn, the hymn of Sending Forth, Spirit of God, 2117 in the Faith We Sing, and we'll be doing the first verse only.
Give us the breath to sing.
stop at one of the bowls of water and remember that you are baptized. You are a beloved and precious child of God. I also invite you to greet the Schuler family. Wish them, give them your blessings on Brent, and we are so happy that we get to welcome Brent and your family into our family. So you are beloved and precious children of God. And now, receive the benediction. May your life be like a river. May you flow with the purpose of the one who created and called you, who directs your course and turns you ever toward home. May your ways shimmer with the light of Christ, who goes with you, who bears you up, who calls you by name. And may you move with the grace of the Spirit, who brooded over the face of the waters at the beginning, and who will gather you in at the end. Go in peace. Amen.